otherwise mundane topic of budgeting is to ask a simple question. Is your budget helping or hurting the health of your church? That is, do the priorities expressed in the budget reflect biblical priorities? Do they align with God's purposes for your church? And what kind of ministry are they shaping? The burden of this book. Most books, one author wrote, have their origin in some kind of enduring mental distraction that has grown so large and ungainly in the author's mind that only hammering it out at book length will fully exorcise the thing. True enough. I can certainly relate because that's been my experience in writing this book. It has grown out of a persistent burden I've had that church leaders, pastors, and those responsible for the financial health of a church should understand the true nature of the church budget. A church budget is a spiritual tool with spiritual aims. A church budget has spiritual value when we get it right and does spiritual harm when we get it wrong. As a result, seeing a church's budget merely or even primarily as a financial tool grossly underestimates what it is. A wealthy gentleman asked my church's senior pastor to lunch shortly after he began his ministry. He began the meeting with an intriguing proposition. I'll make the same deal with you as I did with the previous pastors. You take care of the preaching, I'll take care of the budget. His offer was a generous one. By proposing to take care of the budget, he did not merely mean I'll control the budget, but also I'll give what's needed to balance the budget. In a struggling church, that proposal was a financial lifeline. But appropriately, the pastor declined. Thank you, but no thank you. You cannot call preaching spiritual and the budget merely financial. It's all spiritual. How about you? Do you operate with a spiritual-financial dichotomy in your mind? Let's start with a few diagnostic questions. Number 1. Who talks about the budget with the congregation? Pastors? Elders? Deacons? A finance team? Do they have spiritual objectives in mind during those discussions? Number 2. What is the budget trying to accomplish? How well do those priorities align with God's mission for the church as revealed in the Bible? And number 3, to what extent does the church's handling of money teach the congregation how to be faithful stewards of their own money? These are just a few initial questions to get started. But here's the point. Seeing the budget as a spiritual document and not just a financial document will significantly change the answers to all these questions. I've designed this book to assist you in using the church budget as a spiritual tool. I intend to help you in 3 specific ways. First, I hope to show you how a church's budget reveals its true philosophy of ministry. A philosophy of ministry, the guiding principles that determine a church's priorities and decisions, is tightly tethered to its budget. You cannot protect or change your philosophy of ministry unless you understand the budget's role in shaping it. Second, we'll look at how to evaluate a budget against the standard of Scripture. Very often, we assume the Bible has little to say about the infrastructure of churches, but a closer look reveals a wealth of wisdom that's often ignored. Finally, I want to teach you how to use the budget as a potent tool for pastoral ministry. For too many pastors, the budget is a missed opportunity. What's in this book? Hopefully, you're beginning to see that this book is quite different from most church budgeting books you may have read, if, like me, you're into that sort of thing. Most books on church budgeting are about how to do budgeting, and the principles they teach apply equally well across a wide range of Christian denominations and even to other religious groups and secular nonprofits. This book is less about the budgeting process and more about the budget itself, what it says about your heart, priorities, and values. It's not a how book, but a what book. What ministry is the budget funding? What impact does that have on the congregation? And what does the Bible say about those priorities? The book begins by asking what God's goal is for a church's budget. Based on that answer, in Chapter 2, we look at financial leadership in a church. Pastors cannot delegate all responsibility for the budget to others, as if finances are somehow separate from the ministry of the church. Then, this being a what book, the chapters that follow move from one section of the budget to the next, from the income line to staff to programs to outreach to administration and facilities, and examine what Scripture says about each of these areas. Finally, we'll close with a chapter on the budget as a pastoral tool for teaching.